Yeah. You know the crazy thing is, they gon' talk about you when you ain't got shit, but then they gon' talk about you when you got shit. And see, they gon' talk even though they don't know what you had to do or what you go through. Sacrifices. Seeing your family scrambling, that sanity damaging. Gotta make a move, can't just stand and be mannequin. Have a man who be managing, randomly standing in places he shouldn't. Trying to move that Pamela Anderson under. Standing be hammers and grandma be paneling. Cause them niggas from the other side are fans of me vanishing. New day, new funeral, my grandma be panicking. But I gotta eat, she just handed me sandwiches and her appetite like mine got me scamming and scandaling. Riding shoddy with my homie, but I plan to be phantom and bumping something I can feel. Fam, I need sampling, not no Bieber on the hook. I need Anthony Hamilton, I got Molly, I got White. I be Hannah Montana and like Amigo, it's illegal, but it's grands in my hand again, so it probably ain't right. But this the land of the scandalous. To your own friends, snake, you probably can't understand it. Then when you go, you just gone. All we missing is payments. Dr. King fought for my freedom that I risk just to pay ring. Ain't no love for these streets, ain't no kissing the pavement. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of shit. They insist and be patient, but for what? To wait on that eviction note, I wake up to some real shit. Them dreams I have is fictional, unless I go and get it. Don't stop, get it. Two live crew, money in the loop, dancers with it. Jesus died on that cross, that's a sacrifice. Niggas dying for their cross, that's a sacrifice. Rosa Parks took a charge, that's a sacrifice. Your shorty took that charge for you, that's a sacrifice. Just do what you gotta do, baby. Just do what you gotta do, baby. Just do what you gotta do, baby. Gotta do what you gotta do, baby. Baby gotta do what a baby gotta do. Baby mama ain't got it, but her baby father do. Never pick up baby boy, but his Mercedes powder blue. Now mommy sick of daddy and the baby got a flu. And what's crazy about it too, all she see is lies when she look him in his eyes, and her baby got him too. Pay a little child support, but what's so shady about him too is in the club he pop rosé but won't bring baby bottles through. I know things fell apart, I ain't say we got a glue, but if you walking around and prouder by your baby prouder too. Telling hoes yes, we can't get a maybe out of you. Shit is fucked up and I don't think the baby got a clue. What's a lady gotta do? Bend over for dollar tips, cause ain't nobody giving young single mothers scholarships. Mama just got diagnosed, breast cancer. So when they ask what she gon' do, her best answer is I don't know. Gotta do what I gotta do. I don't know about your bills, but the ones I gotta do. People always wanna try to tell you what you gotta do, but there's a difference in what those who don't and those who gotta do. It's called sacrifices. Hate to see my man gone. Bail was like a pop fly just to bring my man home. Can't just leave him out there. Gotta believe in yourself even when there's doubt there, yeah. Jesus died on that cross, that's a sacrifice. Niggas dying for their cross, that's a sacrifice. Rosa Parks took a charge, that's a sacrifice. Your shorty took that charge for you, that's a sacrifice. Just do what you gotta do, baby. Just do what you gotta do, baby. Just do what you gotta do, baby. Gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Once again, this song. This is Hood Tales with ConeHead. I am the host for the day, ConeHead. Coming to you live and direct. The intro song that I just, played for y'all is a song by a rapper out of New York named Fabulous. He's one of my favorite artists. He's not too mainstream. You know, he does a lot of mixtapes. He does some albums here and there. But I just rock with his style. I rock with, his stories and things like that. And the reason why I chose that song for the intro for the day is because basically what he's saying is we all have to sacrifice something. We all have to give something up, and we all have to, sometimes take less and sometimes take nothing at all for the greater good or the bigger picture down the road. So, like the hook say, Jesus Christ sacrificed his life by taking on all our sins and dying on the cross, and Rosa Parks made a sacrifice by not giving up her seat for a white patron on a bus and ended up getting arrested and going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So, we all have those moments in life where we have to make decisions and we have to sacrifice something to gain more, or sacrifice for the benefit of helping someone else. But this is episode 81. Been a while, haven't been on, but I'm gonna do my best, like I said, to keep it going. And today's conversation that we'll have today, or I'll have, is generational curses are real. And if you see the picture that's on the episode, it's a picture of my great grandparents and my grandma. And for the record, my great grandfather was Irish. His name was Herbert Atlee, and my great grandmother was full Indian. And then you have the baby on there, which is my grandmother. And the amazing thing is, when my grandmother got married, my grandmother married my grandfather, who was full Indian. So it's crazy when I speak on the generational curse thing. It's like, okay, you have the Irish blood and you have the Indian blood. Both Irish and Indian are well known for being alcoholics, and that's just what it is. It's not, any shot at anything, but it's just the truth. So you have the Irish blood of my great grandfather. You have the Indian blood of my great grandmother. Then you have the Irish and Indian blood of my grandmother. Then you mix that with my grandfather, who was an alcoholic as well. You see where I'm going with the situation and the story. It's like alcoholism was a big part of the generational curse in my biological side of the family. There also was some inappropriate, molestation situations going on with some of the family members as well. Just being transparent and real. And you combine all that with those things, and you have situations that went from generation to generation. So you got alcoholism, you got these deviant people with these, things for children, and, because they're innocent and young and they can't really speak up or defend themselves. And it's sad to know that that's a part of your family's generational thing, but it is what it is. It's just what it is. So, moving forward, the next generation, it trickles down to my grandmother, grandfather, then, the generation where my aunts and my mother are born. And then you have the generation of me, my brothers, my cousins, my sisters, and my sister, and things of that nature. And the reason why the generational curse is real is because, okay, you start alcoholism with the great grandparents, it trickles down to the grandparents, then it goes down to the parents, and then it even passes down to the children. Now, let me give you an example. All right, my great grandmother, great grandfather, cool. Grandma, granddaddy, they were more the drinking type than anything. So then you think you pass it down to your children. So my mother becomes an alcoholic. So my auntie becomes an alcoholic real bad because she got I guess I want to choose the word carefully. I don't know if it's molested or raped when she was 12 by a neighbor. She went to my grandmother to tell my grandmother what happened, and my grandmother didn't believe her because my grandmother was this woman that a man was everything and the only thing. So you do whatever you have to do to keep that man, no matter what that man does in that situation. He's the man, and you just go along with what he put down, which was weird because that taught them that they have to have a man and depend on a man for almost everything. And my grandmother didn't have a driver license. My mother doesn't have a driver license. Biological mother doesn't. And to see the difference, when I first met my grandmother, I was 12 years old, and I'll never forget it. She walked through the door, and I see this light-skinned, damn near banana-colored lady come through the door, loud, talking, and just, super wild. And this is my grandmother. So she introduces herself, and I'm just like, wow, because now I know since I've been, on this earth that I was adopted. My mother who raised me, shout out to Bishop, she told me, like, when we was 7 or 8 years old that we were adopted. So I always knew I wasn't biologically her child. So when my grandmother came into the picture and I met her at 12, I broke down and I was just like, I want to go with my grandma. I don't belong here. And, it'd be like that when you meet your real family. So you like, I'm supposed to be with them. So I meet this lady, she come in, she got a beer in a brown paper bag, which was awesome to me because I grew up in a Christian home, so I never seen alcohol in the house. I never seen anything like that. So I was just sitting there blown away about how she just came and put that beer in my mama's refrigerator, my daddy's refrigerator. And that was, I cried and wanted to go with her and things like that. So then fast forward 3 years later, I meet my mother at 15. And she all over the place, just like grandma, generational curse, like loud. But then the weird thing is they all lived in the projects. They was staying in these projects called Durkeeville. And this was the old Durkeeville where they had the dirty yellow buildings, like they didn't need to be pressure washed or whatever. They ended up tearing down the Durkeeville projects and they rebuilt them and made townhomes later on down the road. So they disbanded a lot of people that lived out there and shipped them to different apartment complexes around the city so they could renovate and do things over there. So, okay, I'm 12, I meet my grandmother, I see that she drinks. I meet my mother at 15, I see that she drinks. So, fast forward 2 years later, I get kicked out of high school. I end up having to go live with my mother. No, a year. No. I was 16. A year later, I ended up moving with my mother to go to school to finish high school because I got kicked out of high school. Now, mind you, my mother doesn't have a high school diploma. Grandma don't have a high. Do you understand the generational curse? I ended up going back and getting my high school diploma in 2004, which was a blessing because I didn't know that side of my family, but my family that adopted me, my dad didn't finish. He didn't even get, he dropped out of school in the 6th grade and got on a shrimp boat and was a man at the time. So these curses are real. So the alcohol thing was a big problem in my family. Like my granddaddy drunk so much. It was just from the stories that was told to me, he was just bad with his drinking. Grandma, so you got grandma powder keg, you got granddaddy powder keg. Then your children watch y'all drink and do that. So when they get at a certain age, they start drinking. So all my family members from aunts, they drinking, and then it's like my mother's she drinks and she's an alcoholic, and then it's like everybody from my auntie Jackie. She's an alcoholic. Even to this day, she get towed up from the floor. I had to carry her and put her in a car one day. She got so drunk on 4th of July holiday weekend. And it's just amazing how we don't realize how some of those traits are just genetically and hereditary in us. So you don't understand why a person can have a good life and have this, and then all of a sudden they child step out and start doing drugs and start wild